Hello, class. This is Social Service 215, Social Problems and Social Action. This is Chapter 4, Gender, PowerPoint Presentation, Voiceover. So defining sex and gender, so the progress of women rights. So white women are often the default category for all women. Is the intersectionality importance? When we talk about issues women face differ when race, class, sexuality, and immigration are accounted for. Gender as a social problem. So sex is the biological traits that distinguish males from females. Talked about reproductive anatomy, chromosomes, and hormones. Gender is the social meanings and ideas ascribed to biological sex categories of male and female. There are more than 5 biological sexes, so binary between biological sex and social gender results from society. Sexual dimorphism, belief that there are 2 types of people, males and females. Intersex is anatomically or genetically ambiguous biological sex. Then you have transgenders, individuals. Gender differs from the gender assignment to them at birth. And you have cisgender individuals. Gender aligns with the gender assigned to them at birth. The study of gender as a social problem. We talk about gender inequality, a way in which meanings assigned to sex and gender as social categories create disparities in resources. Gender as a social category that makes distinctions between people, and current gender inequality impact on both men and women. The gender binary in a level playing field. Women's participation in sports historically discouraged. We talk about Title IX, guaranteed ability of girls and women to participate in sports at school. So this is very important to remember. And division of sports by gender. So please review these topics. So gender segregated spaces. Transgender individuals experience entering single gender spaces and institutions. Determining gender. Variety of ways used to place someone in a gender category. Gender panic and the bathroom bill. The gender gap in STEM. So significant gender imbalances in certain areas of education and work. Differences in test scores or brain scans small and insufficient for explaining gap between men and women. Gender work and family. So we talk about gender wage gap. Women earn 18% less than men on average. This is important to note and something we definitely need to work on as a society. So gender inequality from a global perspective, benefits of investing in gender inequality, lower mortality rates for women and children. Talk about gender pay gap, figure 4.2. Median gender wage gap by occupation in 2019, figure 4.3. Figure 4.4 talks about the top 10 causes for deaths for males, all ages, by world regions. And using theory to understand gender inequality, we talk about structural functionalism again. So the social roles, sets of expectations attached to a particular status or position. The sex role, set of expectations attached to a particular sex category. They can be instrumental versus expressive. Conflict theory, we talk about socialist feminism, women as an oppressed social class. Radical feminism, groups conflicts over power resources due to patriarchy. Liberal feminism, gender inequality rooted in how institutions treat men and women. And symbolic interaction, doing gender theory. Gender is an interactive performance. Ethnomethodology, study of folkways and meanings, operations of what appears mundane. Accountability, whether or not others understand our performance. So specialized theory, queer theory. Queer theory is a hybrid perspective that distrusts categories of identity. Meta-narrative, an attempt at universal explanation of some phenomena. 3 basic features: distrustful of categories, proposes thinking of identity, categories as fluid, applicable beyond sexuality and gender. So please be aware of this.